Hey guys, pardon me. Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on the Saturday night live stream, live from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about Bitcoin. We'll talk about the news. We'll talk about altcoins. Going to move some crypto around for you guys. And as always, I'll do my very best to get to your questions and see if we can answer them here live. So welcome everybody. Thanks for being here. We've got a few news stories. I'll get through those fairly quickly. I've got a couple of cool demos I want to show you. One of them is related to one of the news stories. Coinbase has their own version of wrapped Bitcoin now, so we'll play around a little bit with that. And then also some Beam tokens. I was playing around with Beam yesterday, trying to figure out how to get the Beam token on the Beam network, and it's a little tricky. The normal Beam that you buy on exchanges is ERC20 based Beam, not native Beam. It's the new Beam network. I don't know that you can even buy it. Probably on Binance, but I don't have access to Binance. And then I'm going to use Kraken to buy a little Monero. We're going to use some US Tether that I have also in the news this week. I get Tether in Tron based format, or what we might call, I can't even think of the term for it, Tron based Tether, right? It's on the Tron chain, but it is Tether. And I used to use Binance US to convert it, but I realized that you can do it on Kraken, and with Kraken, if I want to cash out, I can do that directly on Kraken, whereas on Binance US, I have to send it somewhere else to cash out because Binance US can't do fiat deposits and withdrawals anymore. So just things that you run into with crypto, transferring things in and out. I'm going to play around with that stuff for you guys tonight. So let's go over here to the big board. Let's see who's here. Let's see. I hope this camera's still aligned. Ooh, looks good. My hair is a little messy, but hey. Oh, we're on the wrong camera. Okay, I knew something was weird. That's a nice backdrop, though. Let's go over to this camera, not that camera. This camera. Right. No, not that camera. Is that the camera I want? I don't know. No, that's not what I want. Come on, what am I trying to do here? I think I want this camera. There, that's more like it. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. But the mic is working. I got a new mic last week. So we'll check that out. We're going to get through the news for those of you who... Oh, let's greet everybody. I wanted to say hello to Andreas. Chicken finger subs. Well, they're back. It's back over 60 now. So it's not over yet, right? 60,000 Bitcoin. Kenny, thanks for being here. Mr. Miskey, Simon, Hans Hannah 350, PJ Playhouse, W. Can't watch the shows live anymore. Now I have kids, but I watch the show every Sunday morning. That's awesome. But it's good to have you. You probably jumped in early and mentioned that. Taste you are correct. I don't have any Polygon left. I got rid of it. I held Polygon a while back. As I mentioned, I had it in native format for a couple years, and then just kind of got tired of it. And so I had bought some Polygon so I could do that demo a couple weeks back, but people are still talking about it. These things bother me. But you are correct. If you have Polygon in Polygon format in Ledger Live, it still calls it Matic. But if you deposit that on Coinbase in Poly or Pol format, it will convert, or it will allow you to make the deposit. Yeah, I mean, there's just a tad, I guess, just a tiny bit. But yeah, I mean, if you go to Ledger Live and make a deposit, let's see, you want to receive crypto, and you say Paul, yeah, you would use this, right? This actually is the only one that will allow you to change networks. The other one won't let you anymore. So if we do Matic, whoops, it will only allow you to see, there's no network adjustment up here. So you can only drop your Matic in ERC20 format on Coinbase, which is fine. This whole hubbub about the fact that ERC20 based Polygon would not automatically change to Paul is just kind of a nothing burger, really. It just has a name change. But one of the easiest things to do to convert your ERC20 Polygon is to simply drop it into your Coinbase account. And if I'm not mistaken, it would become Paul when you do this as well. But I don't have any to test, and I got some other stuff I want to do tonight. So for those of you who've never been here, we've got things we're going to talk about, discussion topic, news. I've got some stuff on the agenda, right? We're going to get some of that CB BTC. We're going to buy some Monero on Kraken with our US Tether, and we're going to buy some Beam and store it on the Beam network. Got a bunch of affiliate links here. Oh, this is my latest video posted this week, a Monero video. You can use your Ledger Stacks with the Monero wallet. It's pretty cool. The Stacks is a joy to use when you're just about anything, but it really gives you a lot of information, and the touchscreen is awesome. And this video demonstrates how to use the Monero wallet with our Stacks, which I'm going to do a little bit tonight because we're going to be doing a little XMR. So we'll play around with that. So check out that video. I also recorded a video on the One Key Pro, which I unboxed a couple weeks back. I finally recorded the video, but there's a lot of content. I got to go through it and edit it. Also, another product that they were kind enough to send me. Let's see, where is that? Whoops. Must be over here. Stamp Seed. I got a Stamp Seed and did a video. I haven't had a chance to edit and post it, but Stamp Seed, I think it's my favorite metal medium because you can write the entire word, which is really cool. Most of the metal mediums have like some kind of 4-digit code, or they only give you enough space to put the first 4 letters of every word, which is sufficient, but most people want to see the entire word so we can wrap our head around it. And that's basically why they created the BIP39 word list, was because they were human readable, human recognizable words. So pretty cool. Stamp Seed, I'll get that video posted hopefully this week. Shouldn't be a big problem. There's not much. I don't have as much editing to do on that one, right? It was a pretty straightforward setup. And of course, we've got all the news stories linked here down below. And the recommended video is still from last week, the Bitcoin Power Law with Giovanni Santostasi, which Dan recommended. You might want to check out that video if you're wondering, when should I sell my Bitcoin? It's a pretty good plan to stick to. Also, if you want to get a hold of me, you can hit me up on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, or if you need help, shoot me an email. I'll do my best to answer your questions through email. If you need more, if you've got a big problem, or you want to set up or restore a ledger or something like that, and you need someone to handhold with you, I can do video chat sessions for consulting fees. And that's it for the metadata. Let's go into the news real quick. Let's get through the news. Bitcoin eyes 60K. We're just over 60K right now. Likely has more room to rally, experts say. Key variable for risk assets is the U.S. economy. As concerns of a recession linger, crypto investment firm Rees Labs said. They've got it at just below 60,000. But we had a pretty good rally yesterday. I forget, there was, I think it was a Fed announcement or guidance that they are most likely, or some government data. And now it's pretty much a done deal that they're going to lower interest rates next week for the first time since 2019. So that's a big deal. It's still kind of up in the air whether it's going to be 50 basis points or 25 basis points. Most likely 25. I think if they were to do 50, it might cause people to panic a little bit that maybe the Fed is overreacting. So they'll probably stick with the 25 basis points. But that's good news for risk assets, not real good news for inflation. But we'll see how things turn out. Seems like it's been pretty good for the crypto market. Things could get back into bull market mode. We'll see. Interesting story. MicroStrategy is in the news again. They have just purchased 18,300 Bitcoin. They now hold 14.14 billion worth of Bitcoin. MicroStrategy being an analytics company that they make business analytics software, and they started buying Bitcoin back in 2020. And much to the chagrin of a lot of financial experts, they have persevered. And according to this article, they MicroStrategy had 5.39 billion in unrealized profits due to their Bitcoin. I think that's just the Bitcoin, right? So sound investment it was it not? Bitcoin. Also, I don't think I put this down in the description. I can just drop the link down there. Let's see here. Yeah, I didn't. I'll just put it next to this header, right? That's the original story. I was actually hoping to find some financial articles deriding Michael Saylor for doing this. This is Michael Saylor in 2020. Let me see here. This is what he looks like now. But you'd think he, would be pretty calm. But holding Bitcoin can give you gray hair, I guess. But yeah, that was Michael Saylor without a beard and his regular. Maybe he was dyeing his hair back then. I don't know. But yeah, this is the original story of when they actually made the purchase in. Okay. Mike is fine. Okay. They made the original purchase back in October of 2020, if I recall. Oh, this is dated right here. Oh, August 11th, 2020. That was when MicroStrategy started buying Bitcoin. Awesome, right? And there's a new wrapped Bitcoin in town. Coinbase has announced that they have a version of wrapped Bitcoin called CB Bitcoin, which lives on the Ethereum and the base chain. They will trade you Bitcoin for CB Bitcoin on a one-to-one basis. And it's pretty much free. We're going to play with it tonight. And then if you have CB BTC or CB Bitcoin, you can drop it on Coinbase and they'll convert it back to Bitcoin for you, which is pretty awesome. It's pretty cool. Once you put Bitcoin on Coinbase, well, actually, yeah, I think you have to deposit it. We'll play with it, right? I think you have to deposit it on, if you want to withdraw it as ERC20, you got to deposit it as Bitcoin on the base network. And then you throw your regular Bitcoin in there and they'll convert it. Anywho, it's going to be fun, right? Everybody's happy except for Justin Sun, who owns a controlling share in the company that hodls Bitcoin for wrapped Bitcoin, which has been around for a while. And he is a hater on Coinbase in this little tweet here. I still don't understand why he has this hiring after his profile name, or why he's got this weird thing on there. Just put a picture of yourself already. You have to be eccentric, don't you? All right. Coinbase BTC lacks proof of reserve. That's not what I wanted to do. Can I go back? Can I go back? Oh, it's right here. No audits and can freeze anyone's balance anytime. Essentially, it's just trust me. Any U.S. government subpoena could seize all your BTC. There's no better representation of central bank Bitcoin than this. It's a dark day for BTC. You know who else is centralized? BitGo and Wrapped Bitcoin are also centralized. And it's a foreign company. So all of the misgivings that apply to Coinbase Bitcoin pretty much apply to Wrapped Bitcoin as well. I don't know if they have some sort of audit. I think somebody replied to his tweet with, how is Tron any different? You constantly mint Wrapped Bitcoin U.S. Tether with no reserves. The Chinese government owns you. Newsy Johnson. And then Justin replied with some story about how Wrapped Bitcoin is backed by real Bitcoin. Something like that. But anyway, we'll play around with the Wrapped. I never really trusted Wrapped Bitcoin personally. I always considered it, basically the idea was that it was centralized. But the Coinbase one, I'm intrigued by because there'll be some functionality, and it's pegged to the price of Bitcoin, and Coinbase is a huge company and they're US based. So I don't mind playing around a little bit with some Coinbase Bitcoin. Yeah, we'll check that out. And then I got a story here about Tether. The story that I heard was that Tether is more profitable than BlackRock. But that original story I couldn't really find. It took me to a weird website. But this is an article by a news site called Blockworks, which is kind of breaking down this whole idea. And I'll let you read the article. But basically what they're saying is that, sure, Tether is more, as a company, is more profitable than BlackRock, if you count their Bitcoin holdings. A large part of Tether's profitability rides on the price of Bitcoin. So since Bitcoin is up this year, so are Tether's profits. Not only because more people use Tether when the market's hot, but they hold Bitcoin in their, as part of their accounting. They have to have Bitcoin, so their holdings go up when the price of Bitcoin goes up. So this article kind of breaks that down. So we're going to play around with Tether and Bitcoin and see what happens, right? This is actually kind of a more recent, or kind of the actual announcement of their profits. So I'll drop that link right there below that one, right? So we got all the stories fit to print, right? We got through all that. Let me just see who's here, and let's jump in. Let's see. Everyone's here saying hello. That's good stuff. Tom is here. Hi, Tom. Thank you so much for your generous little commission that you gave me for helping you out with your Polkadot. I was pleasantly surprised by your generosity. I helped Tom unstake some Polkadot that was stuck in Ledger Live. And so basically we ended up having to go to the Polkadot Stratum website and interface there to get the Polkadot unstaked. But we did, right? So that was cool. Let's see. Dan Wester is here. Thank you for being here, Dan, our moderator. Jerry Uma, do you think companies like that put the Bitcoin on exchange or cold wallet? That's a good question. I'm not really sure. I know there are multi-key institutional solutions for holding cryptocurrency rather than it all just being in one guy's wallet, because a good company needs procedures for accessing crypto. And, a single user crypto wallet is not a good way to store company funds. Although I heard some stories from Ledger, there was a company that was holding a lot of their funds on a single Ledger Nano S, and then it wasn't the fact that someone had access to it and stole it. They didn't have proper controls. What happened was whoever supposedly was in charge of this Ledger device couldn't remember the PIN and couldn't find the recovery phrase. Not much of a company, but I like that story because it's their illustration of the fact that their device is secure, because the person that had this device wanted Ledger to crack it for them because they had already tried the incorrect PIN twice and they were down to their last try. And of course, ledgers will reset after 3 incorrect PIN entries. And so they called Ledger and said, hey, we need your help. Crack this thing open for us. And Ledger was like, we can't. We can't. We designed it not to be crackable, even by us. And the guy was like, oh, but it was, yeah, I get it, right? That's what you tell everybody, but it's me, right? It's me. You can tell me, I'll be there. I'll fly my Learjet over there and, you guys can crack this thing for me. And they were like, can't do it. I like that story. Anyhow, let's see here. Aloha, Scott. Good to have you. Dusted in Shadow. Welcome. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I wanted to show you this thing, and I need a new... actually, what I need is this little arm here that I'm using to hold my webcam has worn out. There's a screw that holds it steady, and it's made of plastic, and it has cracked, and so this thing just no longer works right. So if the camera just kind of droops while we're trying to do this, you'll know what I'm talking about. I'm going to have to order a new one. I've been doing this stuff for a long time. I think I've had this webcam arm for many years. It clips onto the table and allows me to get like an overhead view when I'm doing stuff, which comes in really handy. So I wanted to show you this stamp seed. Now, this is not a real seed phrase, right? This is my attempt. It's just a randomized seed phrase that I generated. There's nothing in there. So there's no risk of me showing it to you if it comes into focus there. So basically you're given a, well, I'll show you real quick here. You're given an anvil, which is in this package. And then, and I don't know if I can get this thing open or not. Oops. Yeah, but this is the crux of it. There are these little letter tools, right? And each letter is represented by a different tool. You see that's the letter O, and there's a little line there that helps you line it up with the jib. When you're stamping, you put the metal into the jib here. And then these lines along the edge there are for, lining up with this jib. Or I mean the jib, you line up the letter tools. So you've got all these letter tools, and I keep bumping this camera. It's gonna be disaster here. But what I like about this solution is it allows you to write the entire word. There are a lot of metal storage solutions out there for seed phrases, and most of them have some sort of numerical code that you look up in a table,
or they only have enough room for the first 4 letters of each word. And that's sufficient to do a restore. You only need the first 4 letters, but human beings like to see words that they recognize, and so you can type out or stamp out the entire word on this thing. And then also you have a little area over here where you can date it. I like to date my seed phrases. This is just a faux date. I didn't do this back in 21. And then also you should label your seed phrase. I made a few mistakes here, but this is a Ledger Nano X, right? You don't really want, oh, I tore them all up. You don't want a whole bunch of seed phrases laying around your house, written down on paper or cards that have no label. You don't know what they're to. You know, that can get really confusing, and we're dealing with crypto. We could be dealing with thousands and thousands of dollars worth of cryptocurrency, and you've got all these seed phrases laying around your house and you're not sure which goes to which. It's not a very sound way of managing your crypto. So, and then for those of you who might be wondering, well, what the heck is he talking about here? What is this list of words? What does that have to do with anything? Well, this list of words, it is not, but this is just a demo. But in general, when you set up a crypto wallet, you are given a seed phrase. Now, this seed phrase is a list of human readable words, but it is created based on the master private key that the wallet generates. And this happens on software wallets. This happens on hardware wallets. You get a seed phrase. And a lot of people, when they see my videos, they'll say, oh, what if that little thing breaks? You know, ha ha ha, you're so dumb. You put 20 grand worth of crypto in this little plastic USB stick and then it breaks, and then what? You know, they don't seem to get it that the seed phrase backs up your wallet. When I first was given a backup phrase, my very first wallet, I was dumbfounded. Why am I backing up an empty wallet? It just didn't make sense to me. It took me a while to wrap my head around it. And basically, if you have ever done any program, you might be familiar with the term pointer. A pointer is a piece of memory that points to a piece of data. So that if you're doing a store or a sort algorithm, you don't have to sort huge chunks of data. You just sort the pointers. So a pointer is just something that points to an address. And that's what the master private key does. So if you've got the master private key saved and then you fill up your wallet with crypto and then lose the device, the master private key backup will point to all that crypto. So it points to your address on the blockchain now and in the future, right? And any new wallets that you create or sub wallets can all be derived from this backup phrase. So it is vitally important. It is much more important to store the seed phrase safely and securely than the device. The device has a PIN, so if someone finds the device, they've still got some hurdles to jump. But if they find this, they can restore to one of their devices. So this is really the crux of self-custody, is your seed phrase, right? And you'll want to have more than one in case something bad happens. But having one on titanium is a big step from keeping it on paper. What paper burns, paper fades, paper, is not waterproof, paper tears, it's flimsy. You want something like this that's much more durable and robust. So I was going to talk a little bit about seed phrases tonight. All right. Pardon me. So let's do this. Pardon me. Let's see. I'm going to use my stacks here. Okay. Let's see. How's our camera? Okay. Let's get I'm not a huge fan of trying to do this. It's just a hard angle for me to play with the stacks, but I'm going to do it anyway. Let's get this here. I think that's better. All right. Okay. All right. Come on. Yeah, it's like just difficult. Okay, there's my lovely wife. If I can get this thing to work. Okay, it's about as good as it's going to get. Let's go ahead and connect our stacks. Why am I connecting my stacks? Well, because I'm about to move some crypto around. And in order to do that, my stacks is protecting that crypto. All right, so I'm going to enter my PIN. So much easier to enter your PIN on the stacks. If you recall, there used to be a lot of dead time on my live stream when I was entering the PIN on my Ledger Nano X. So I've got it down to a couple seconds. So what we're going to do is we're going to launch Ledger Live. We talked about this. Actually, I have the wrong device attached for this Matic, and it's such a small amount, I don't think we're going to play around with it right now. Let's go to accounts. Let's go to... another thing that I wanted to bring up to you guys. I've said this many times on the live stream. I've said it many times on the live stream, but a lot of people ask me this question over and over and over and over again. It's just my lot in life that I get a lot of the same questions over and over again. One of the most common questions I get is, can you use more than one device within one copy of Ledger Live? And the answer is yes. When you connect a device and set up an account, it syncs up to that device, right? And then if you want to connect a second device and sync that one up, you'll add a new account and it'll sync to that new device. And so you'll have a whole bunch of accounts in your Ledger Live, and some of them are synced to one device and others are synced to a different device. Now, a lot of people do this by accident, and then they get all confused because they have the wrong device attached, or they have the right device and they're using the wrong account or whatever. They get mixed up and then they get error messages. Well, basically what you want to do, and I thought that I had named this one accordingly, but this is a good example. Whoops. Notice that this Bitcoin account is named Bitcoin Stacks. Why did I name it Bitcoin Stacks? Because this account is associated with my Stacks device, as well as Ethereum Stacks and Solana Stacks. Now this account, this Polkadot account, is this Polkadot. I'm not going to say it's on my Ledger Nano X. I will say that the Ledger Nano X protects this account, or that the Ledger Nano X manages this wallet or this account. The crypto is out there on the blockchain. But notice that each of my accounts has the appropriate name for the device that I need to plug in order to manage this cryptocurrency, right? And so if you name your accounts properly, then you won't get mixed up and plug in the wrong device. So, but I forgot to do it for this account. So we can go into the account, and all you have to do is go up here, and you've got this little edit field. So we'll call this one Stacks, because I know that this is associated with my stacks. Good stuff. All right. All right. So we're going to go to the Bitcoin, and we're going to do a send. But where are we going to send it? Well, we're going to send it to Coinbase, and we're going to do that little trick. We're going to say, okay, I want to drop some Bitcoin in here. And I want to drop Bitcoin in here. But I want to convert it over to that CB BTC. How does that work? Well, notice now Bitcoin has a network configurator up here in the right corner when you make your deposits. You can just pull this down and say, hey, I want to do this on Base or Ethereum or Lightning. I don't know. I've never tried that one before. I think they've had that one. But anyway, so we're going to do it on Base because the fees are really low on Base because Coinbase owns Base, or basically initiated it. All right, so now notice what it looks like here. We've got the Base network active, and this Bitcoin address has a little Base icon, and suddenly it's no longer a regular Bitcoin address. It's an ERC20 based address, or EVM based address. Wait a minute. This address can. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. We want to receive Bitcoin. Huh. Okay, that's not what I wanted. I want to drop some Bitcoin onto my Coinbase account. I guess I need to. It's already in Bitcoin format. So what I want to do is I want to deposit the Bitcoin as Bitcoin, right? Because it's already in Bitcoin format. Now they're not going to charge me the 90 cents because it's a deposit. All right, so let's just go ahead and do that. I got confused. I was a little like, see? Well, that's why we work through these things together. All right, let's hit continue. We're just going to do $100 worth. And I'm going to leave my my blockchain fees at medium. I'm not going to adjust them. Right? It's going to cost me 59 cents in blockchain fees from my wallet to Coinbase. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then it's asking me to open the Bitcoin app on my device. So we'll just tap there. There's the Bitcoin app. All right, and then it wants me to sign the transaction on my device. So we do a little swipe. 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 Or is it this way? I don't know. Okay, there. It's hard to do it from this angle. Amount, where it's going, and the fees, right? I'm going to swipe again. And there we go. Review transaction to send Bitcoin. Oh, I went the wrong way. Okay, my bad. All right, let's do this again. Okay, hold to sign. So I'm going to hold to sign. I hold down here. It goes across. And off it goes. There it goes. Now, also, I wanted to buy some Beam token. And I have some... I have some Stellar here that I'm going to use. Now, in order to manage the Stellar, I need to disconnect this device. Doesn't matter. You just unplug it. Connect your Ledger Nano X, which is a completely different shape. But that's okay. I'm going to enter my PIN, which takes me just a tad longer. Go here. I'm still pretty good at this, but the stacks is so much quicker. All right, so there's my Ledger Nano X. And we're going to send some Stellar to Coinbase. So I'm still waiting for the Bitcoin to transfer. While I'm waiting, I can go ahead and tell it that I want to send it some Stellar Lumens. There's the Stellar Lumens address. Remembering, of course, when you deposit Stellar Lumens on an exchange, you need both the address and the memo field, right? Don't forget the memo field, or it'll just kind of go into their massive Stellar wallet with no indication of whose Stellar it is, right? That's why you need the memo. So we'll grab the address. We'll go to Ledger Live. We'll say we want to send Stellar. We'll paste in that Stellar address. Now we need the memo, right? It's optional to send it from your wallet because you can send Stellar back and forth to other Stellar wallets with just the address. But we're depositing it on Coinbase, so we need a memo field. We'll use text memo. We'll go back to Coinbase, grab that memo, and then paste it in here. Whoops. Right? So we need the address and the memo. Right? And we can double check that one more time. Right? We'll hit continue. I'm just going to send 100. We'll hit continue again. And then my Ledger Nano X should ask me to open the Stellar app. Right? So I'll hit both buttons. Click both buttons. That's open. Now it's going to ask me to review that transaction. I'll use the metal button. There's my memo. There's my fee. This is my source. That's what I'm sending. That's my destination address. You can check all this. And now I need to sign. Right? I know some people, they don't know what to do when, what should I do? Should I click both buttons? Should I go back? Should I go forward? You learn over time how these things work. That's why it's good to practice this stuff. So you're familiar with this. Don't open it up after 3 years in a drawer when the price of Stellar is shooting through the moon and you're trying to, you're all verklempt. You don't wait for the emergency. Practice when it's not stressful. All right, so I'm going to sign the transaction by clicking both buttons. And we'll see on the screen that we've finished that up. All right, so we're waiting for some deposits in Coinbase. Sometimes Coinbase takes a while to for Bitcoin to hit. The Stellar will most likely hit first, even though we sent it afterwards. But while we're waiting on both of those, let's go and do the Kraken that I wanted to show you, because I want to put some Monero in my Monero wallet. So we'll go up here to Kraken. We're going to do the sign in here. I got to open this. Oh boy. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to go back to the Authenticator app. I need a code from my Google Authenticator. All right, so we'll pull up Google Authenticator on my phone. I'll put in the Kraken code. And do that. This is unrelated, but I was trying to set up Kraken so that I could use my Ledger Stacks, and I got it to work on desktop, but I could not get it to work on the phone, and I was looking for that consistency, and so I ended up just going back to Google Authenticator. Let's see, we want to deposit some Tether, and we want to deposit it on the Tron network. We were talking about this earlier, so I'm going to get a Tron address. All right, so basically we're going to go into I'll put this thing over here. We're going to go into our Tangent wallet. And oh my God. All right, I'm going to have to run upstairs and get my wallet. Sorry, guys. Forgot about this. I keep that Tangent card in my wallet. So while we're waiting for that deposit, just give me a minute. Boop, 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 boop.
I know I'm doing like three things at the same time, but because when I'm live, I can't edit out the wait times, right? All right, so I've got my Tangent card here. And I'm going to use this Tangent card to authorize the outgoing transaction, right? So we're going to take Tether. This is Tron-based Tether, right? And so I want to send it. And I need the address, so I'm going to tap up in the very right corner there. There's a little QR code icon. I'll tap that. It opens up the camera and scans that address on my desktop, that Kraken address. That's the address I want to send to. We'll hit next, and then I'll choose max, and then we'll hit next. Oh, Justin Sun, you got me again. Okay. Oh, Justin Sun, how could you? Okay. Yes, I do. I want to close. I've run out of Tron. I need Tron for this. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do here. Now I'm kind of screwed. Okay. I guess I can move some Solana. I don't know. Let's find out. All right. Well, you guys, this stuff happens live. All right. So let's go over here. Here's Solana. We want to receive Solana. We'll copy that into our clipboard. We'll go back over to this wallet that has some Solana in it. And we'll send, I don't know, I'm going to paste in that address, just my other wallet. We'll hit next. And I got about 80 bucks worth. Let's do about 25. I really don't want to do this, but it's live, so we're just going to bite the bullet and get it done. Now I need my card, right? So here's my Tangent card. I'm going to hold it up to the back of the computer and authorize that outgoing transaction. Now my question is, am I going to be able to buy some Tron with that Solana? So we just need to give it a minute or two to transfer the Solana. Okay. While we're waiting on that, let's see what's going on Coinbase. Okay, there's a $100 balance in there. I'm assuming that's the Stellar. Yeah, so we're still waiting on the Bitcoin. That's okay. Okay, and so we got the Solana. Now the question is, can I swap Solana for Tron? Are they going to let me do that? I don't know. I want Tron, and I would like to use my Solana, and it looks like they're going to let me do that. Okay. Yeah, this is kind of a pain. I thought Tron was supposed to be like crazy cheap, but I get pretty high Tron fees. All right, so, okay, now I need to do swap. And I need this card, which is the card to this wallet. We'll hit swap. We'll hold up the card to authorize. All right. And now we are going to have to wait just a tad for the Tron, right? Because it leaves the wallet. It goes to Changely. Changely does the exchange and then sends it back to me. So it's not instantaneous, right? You can look down here at the status of what I just did. Let's see. No one's asking any questions, man. Am I like disconnected or something? Yeah, they are. At least they I'm sorry. Teju is asking me about the Tron transaction. For some, I believe. See, what I was trying to do originally was simply send some Tether out of my wallet, but and it was Tron-based Tether, so it would be like sending an ERC20 token out of an Ethereum wallet. You need the original token to pay your fees. And the fees for $70 worth of Tether were going to cost me like $5 worth of Tron, and I didn't have $5 worth of Tron. I only had $3. But I thought a Tron transaction should have been on the order of like 20 cents or 30 cents. But I don't know why it's so expensive, but it's probably has something to do with Tangem, what's going on under the hood at Tangem. I really don't know why the Tron is so expensive. Tron transactions are so expensive. But anyway, so we'll see what happens. See, as you can see, Changely is still awaiting my Solana deposit so they can transfer the Tron. Okay, so there's a question while we're waiting for all this. And I'll go till like 7:15 tonight so we can get these transactions done. Can I create a new seed on Tangem, write the seed, go back, import the seed, and choose a passphrase, AFAIK? You can't create a wallet with passphrase in Tangem, but you can import it. Will this work? I don't know how you would enter your passphrase once you got the wallet restored in Tangem, right? If Tangem has no mechanism for entering, actually, yeah, they do. I'm sorry, you are right. And that is correct. There is no way to add a passphrase to an existing Tangem wallet, but you can import a passphrase protected configuration using a seed phrase. If you've created a passphrase on top of that seed phrase, you can do that. When you're importing the seed phrase, you're doing a restore in Tangem. There is a button that allows you to enter a passphrase and gain access to a passphrase configuration. Keep in mind that the way hardware wallets, that seed phrases are semi-universal, but it's really not best practice. Well, I guess if you wanted to create the seed phrase in Tangem, I think that's what you're saying, right? You could create the seed phrase Tangem, wipe the wallet, and then do a restore and add the passphrase. I'm not sure what you would gain by that, because once you have entered the passphrase during your restore process, there is no interface to add it when you're not using it. So in other words, the passphrase configuration becomes the default wallet when you're using the Tangem wallet, and then it's not really that secure because you don't have to open the wallet and enter the passphrase every time. You simply open the wallet and you have full access to the passphrase configuration. If that makes sense, you know what I'm trying to say. So what you're proposing is possible, but you're sort of overriding the need to enter the passphrase every time you use the wallet. And that's one of the security features of the passphrase, is it's not a default, right? You don't just launch a Ledger Live and plug in your ledger and have full access to a passphrase configuration. You manually have to enter the passphrase every time you need to access the passphrase configuration. So importing a seed phrase into a Tangem wallet and entering the passphrase during the setup, during the restore process, you've basically entered that passphrase in perpetuity in that particular wallet. You'll be connected to that passphrase configuration every time you open up your Tangem wallet. Okay, so as you can see, we got some activity going on, right? The deposit was received, confirmed, and exchanged, and now they're sending me the Tron. And it should be here shortly.
Yeah, it's not quite here yet. So we'll keep an eye on that. Kitty's here. Hi, Kitty. And you haven't lost your collar yet. And none of our neighbors ate the kitty, thank God. Kitty's doing fine. Let's see here. Okay, so we may not get around to doing the Bitcoin because Bitcoin takes a while to hit Coinbase. But we do have that XLM, and I wanted to... hi, Kitty. Okay. We're going to say hello to everybody. Yeah, don't put your head on the keyboard. You're gonna knock something pretty soon. Well, yeah, you are correct. You can attach your passphrase to a pin. That's one way of doing it. I don't usually do that. I use kitty. I usually use the set temporary passphrase. I feel it's more secure because that's the way a passphrase is meant to be used. You have a normal configuration that is the default, and then if you need access to your passphrase configuration, you enter your passphrase on top of that. But you're right, you can set up the ledger as attached to pin, so you would have an alternate pin, which does give you a little bit of security in the sense that if you're under duress, you could enter the default pin if someone has a gun to your head and not enter the passphrase pin. So there's a little added security there to protect your passphrase configuration because you do have to enter the pin every time you open the wallet. The Tangent wallet, basically, in order to open the wallet, you just need to use your Face ID and open the wallet. Of course, you could disable biometrics and only use the PIN option, or they call it a access code on the Tangent, which would make it a little more secure. But basically, every time if someone has a gun to your head and you open up your Tangent, your passphrase configuration would be right there. There wouldn't be an alternate pin that you could set up to protect you from duress. So I know we're splitting hairs here, but good questions. Kitty. All right, Kitty. I guess Kitty's... okay. Okay. All right, let's go back here. We've got our Tron now. Let's see here. All right, so now we got our Tron. So let's go back to where we were. Right, we were going to send this Tron to our Kraken account. Right? Okay. It's not Tron, it's Tether, pardon me. All right, so we're going to scan that code. We need to move the phone a little bit. Kitty, what are you doing there? You're not a QR code. All right, let's hit next. Let's hit max. Let's hit next again. And this time it should work, right? We got enough Tron in there to pay the fees. All right, off it goes. All right, now we're waiting for another transfer. While we're waiting on that, let's go back to Coinbase. And I think what I want to do is boopity-boo. Oh, I know. I remember what I did. Okay. Yes, I remember. I think I just used Ethereum, right? So I don't know that I've got an Ethereum for this, but let's just swap it into US dollar coin. All right, there may be a cheaper way to do this, but that's okay. And then I want ETH. Oops, come on, baby. Why is ETH? Okay. Okay, here we go. ETH to US dollar. We're going to buy Ethereum at market for the max. Maybe lost a little bit there. All right, so now we've got Ethereum. What I want to do, well, I don't know what happened there.
Thought I had $99. Oh, there's some US dollar coin left over. That's kind of weird. Doesn't matter. Now let's get that Ethereum. And we want to send it to my Rabby wallet. This Rabby wallet is based on my stacks. I'll just grab this address here. That's the address. We'll send all of it to our Rabby wallet on base. I want base, right? So, whoa. No, I don't want base. Pardon me. Yes. Because there is no beam on base, right? I need Ethereum. Let's try this again. Ethereum network. Okay. All right. Let's paste. Okay. This is kind of, I'm just doing this so you can kind of get a feel for it. I do have some Ethereum already in this wallet, but I just kind of want to say, okay, here, I'm going to take this $70 worth of Stellar and convert it into Beam, so to speak. And this is the steps I'm going to go through. Okay. Sorry, hit the wrong code. Now I got to wait for it to cycle. Okay, here we go. Okay. Now this should happen pretty quick. Now the reason I'm using the Rabby wallet is because I can swap for the beam that I need on the Ethereum network. Let's just give it a minute. Come on. Well, it's not going as fast as I was hoping it was going to go. Okay. Okay. It's not cooperating with me. I get it. I'm live. Doesn't want to cooperate. Okay, so we've got this Tether now. All right, so what I want to do is I want to buy some crypto. And I want to convert, right? So I'm going to convert my Tether to Monero. All right, I'll go ahead and use it all. There's the breakdown of what I'm doing, and I have some Monero on Kraken. Now, a lot of people would say, oh, don't buy your Monero on Kraken. The government can see you. Everybody can see you. I'm like, well, I'm not hiding when I use Monero. It's just private. So, yeah, they know I bought Monero, but they don't really know what I spent it on because Monero is untrackable. It's not transparent. It does a pretty good job of obfuscating the tos and froms, right? So yeah, they would know that I bought Monero, but once it's in my wallet, it's my Monero. I can do whatever I want with it. Well, let's go ahead and let's see. In order to swap this, I'm going to have to reconnect my stacks, right? Because I'm going to be swapping on the stacks. Now, the wallets that I'm using are connected to this stacks or managed by this stacks, right? I know it's a mouthful. Try to stay precise for you guys. Okay, let's see here. Okay, there it is. There's that extra. Right, there's that extra Ethereum, right? So basically I need to be in the Ethereum app for this to work. And then this will kind of give you an overview of how... actually, I had done this before, so Beam is already in there. But basically, we're just buying the Beam ERC20 token. The reason why I'm doing this is because if you go to the Beam
page on CoinGecko, you can see that there are only two forms of it, BNB and Ethereum. And most exchanges won't let you buy Beam format. I don't think you can buy it. Now I could be proven wrong right now. Let's see what happens if I look for... how do we do this? Oh, I think buy crypto. Let's see. Beam. Maybe they would let me buy like real Beam. Yeah. I'll have to look into this. I've already got this trade lined up, so we'll just go ahead and do it. Oh, Kitty's hungry. All right, so we're going to do this swap from Ethereum to Beam, right? And we'll use 0.05. Let's do 0.04. Yeah, that's right about the amount that I just dropped into this wallet, Ethereum, right? They're going to use this Odos. All right. Oh, I don't know what happened. I thought I was in here. All right, Ethereum. Kitty's going to have to wait for his dinner. He's been outside most of the day. All right, so we're going to sign with Ledger. All right, now they're telling me I have to use blind signing, but they're going to let me use it, but I've got to like acknowledge that I'm taking the risk, but that's okay. I'm a big boy. So I'm going to hit continue. Then what they want me to review. So I'm going to swipe. There's what they can offer me. Whoops. Ah, damn this thing. All right, let's try this again. There. Accept risk and continue. Yes. I'm accepting the risk and continuing. So Ledger has absolved themselves of all legal liability of me using blind signing. Good for them. Now, did this swap go through or not? It doesn't usually... Oh, yeah, here it is up here. Pending. All right. I don't know if I need to do this again. Some transactions will ask you to, like, sign twice or whatever. I don't know. And we'll see. Okay. I think it did it. All right, now, to wit. Notice that I already have some Beam in my Rabby wallet, and Rabby sees that it's on the Beam network, right? It's okay with that. I didn't have to add the Beam network. Rabby just realized when I dropped that native Beam in there that it was on the Beam network. But if we go to the Ethereum side, you'll see that I have some Ethereum-based Beam already in the wallet. Or now we just swap for that. So what I want to do is convert that to Beam proper. So I'm going to go over here to the Beam bridge, which is kind of interesting. And I'm going to use, I believe I have to use MetaMask. I don't think this thing supports Rabby, which is okay. I could have done the swap on MetaMask as well. I just like... So, in other words, MetaMask is also connected to this Ledger Stacks, right? So, if I go to tokens, it sees that I have the Beam in there, right? It's the same wallet because it's being managed by my Ledger Stacks. Right. So, and now that I've got that connected, I can do this transfer. So I have Beam token on the Ethereum network. And what I would like is Beam token on the Beam network. We'll max that out. All right. And then we'll say transfer. And we have to authorize this. We'll max this out. Let's hit next. And then we scroll down here to approve. This one I'm going to have to do a couple of times, I believe. Right. Once again, they're warning me about the blind signing. Right. We're going to... Oh, it goes this way, right? Yeah. There's our info. There's our fees. Fees are kind of high on this. like $2 or $3 right there. And I believe I'm going to need to sign one more time here when I do this bridge operation. It's going to come back up here shortly and ask me. Give it a minute. You're very welcome. Yeah, here we go. Let's and there's those fees, like $1.16 here. Let's hit confirm. We're going to see this warning again. We're going to review the transaction. There. There. And now sign. Hold to sign. This device is so much easier to use when it is facing you and you're looking down on it, as opposed to holding it away, facing away from you, right? I think I'm done there now. I can just turn this off. I just want to let this move to the next stage, right? There it is. Okay. It says transaction submitted, and then there's a little progress bar here, and it's going to take 4 minutes for the beam, the ERC20 beam, to convert to native beam on the beam network. I'm really not sure why I'm doing this, but I'm curious. I'm like, hey, if I'm going to use crypto, I want it native. I want to see how it works on native. Let's go back to Coinbase and see if that Bitcoin hit. I wasn't paying attention. That's probably the ghost of... Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. So what I want to do is drop this into my Rabby wallet as the on base in wrapped Bitcoin or Coinbase Bitcoin format, right? So we're going to do that. Let's see. We'll go back to portfolio. We'll hit BTC. We'll do a send to... here we go. So I want to send it on base, and they're going to convert it from Bitcoin to CB BTC, right? Or Coinbase Bitcoin, wrapped Bitcoin. Okay. And then, I want to send it to my wallet. This is the Ethereum address of my Stacks device. We'll send it all. We'll do a preview. It's going to convert to base. And that thing was about to expire, but I got it in just in time, I think. Alrighty. Now, before I leave you guys, I want to do the Monero. So we're going to... we have to be in the Monero app, so I'm going to go... Whoops. Let's hit Monero. See the Monero down there on the right bottom? All right. And then we'll launch the wallet. All right. I need the password. Mind you, even if someone sees my Monero address, like you're going to see my Monero address here, I think, at some point, you still can't query my balance. Now, you can see what my current balance is now, right now. Oh, I got to export the key. Pardon me. I was talking. All right. It's going to need to sync up, but it won't take too long because I did a sync earlier today. So everything should be fine. And okay. Yeah, it just needs to sync just a tad, but that's okay. Let's go back to Rabby. And let's see what we got here. It should be in my base wallet. And there it is. CB BTC. I got $100 worth of wrapped Bitcoin. really easy. I forgot to even check what the withdrawal fee was. I think it was free, right? So I had Bitcoin on Coinbase. I withdrew it as wrapped Bitcoin or CB BTC, and I don't think I had to pay any fees to make the withdrawal from Coinbase. I could be wrong. I wasn't paying real close attention when I did that. So that was interesting, right? And why would I do this? Well, there's a lot of reasons. Well, one of them is that Bitcoin, there's no DeFi for Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin doesn't really support DeFi. A little bit of ordinal stuff, but not really, right? I can do all kinds of stuff with this wrapped Bitcoin. I can stake it. I can, do smart contracts, swaps, and all kinds of cool stuff. And it's tied to the price of Bitcoin, right? I can use it as Bitcoin, and it's not like I have to worry about, what if I move it here and then the price of Bitcoin goes up and I miss out? I won't, because this is effectively Bitcoin. It's tied to the price of Bitcoin. So good stuff there. Let's see where we are with this bridge. Let's go back here. Okay, the wallet is synced up, right? I want to do a receive, but I've already got the address in my Kraken, so we can just do that. So we just go to Monero, or let me turn this off so you can see what I'm doing here. We're going to withdraw the Monero. Yeah, I know. And I want my, whoops. Oh, here it is. Ledger stacks. I was wondering, I thought I had a lot more, but I remember I went through and weeded them out. I had a bunch in there that were no longer being used. All right, so there it is. 0.4 Monero. Withdraw. Oh, that doesn't make sense. I thought Monero was like a lot more. Oh, this is $70. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense now. We're going to withdraw. Off it goes. And then we can just kind of keep an eye on this. And we should see it hit the wallet shortly. Right? Let's go see what's going on with our beam. It's complete. All right, so we got that beam over. Now notice when we go to Rabby, right, there's more in there now. But if we go to the beam network, right, now we've got 169 worth of beam token in the wallet. That's good stuff, right? And this is native beam. Like, you can do it on MetaMask too. I have the Beam network set up in my MetaMask, and MetaMask can also see that Beam as native Beam. I would prefer to store my coin in native format. From what I understand, there's stuff you can do with Beam on its base network. I think you could even, there are some like swapping things we can do with Beam. On this website here, there's a swap, right? So there are like Beam-based tokens I could swap for. I don't know what any of these are, but maybe there's some like obscure meme coins I might get my hands on. Well, before everyone else floods into the Beam ecosystem, right? But anyway, that's stuff. Let's see what we got over here. We might have to wait a minute for this Monero to hit our wallet. What are you going to do with Beam? It's a good question. I have no idea. All I know is that on the Merit website, they tell me there's a Beam OS for gamers, and there's development and governance. I can vote, maybe perhaps stake my Beam, but all this would require me to have native Beam and be able to know what to do with it, right? So I'm just the kind of guy that, when I feel like, hey, how can I put this in native format? I just poked around till I figured it out, because I was like kind of dumbfounded. I did a couple of tests and they didn't work out too well, and then I finally figured it out that what you have to do is this, right? You got to get it lined up. Beam token on Ethereum can go to Beam on Beam, and you can go backwards that way as well if you want to. All right. Let's see what's going on over here. Still waiting. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so nothing yet. Oh, there it is. It just came in. It's not even in here yet, but I can see the balance is updated, right? Oh, right. So my spendable funds are still 4.9. I have to wait 20 minutes for it to fully confirm on the blockchain, but you can see that the Monero hit the wallet, right? And what can I do with Monero, you may ask? That's a good question. Let's check that out. Whoops. I think that's right. The Monero homepage, the Get Monero homepage, has like a whole list of places you can spend your Monero. This link here. There's like hundreds of merchants that accept Monero. I would go, and I told you I did a Monero video this week on using the Monero wallet with the Ledger stacks, which works out really well. Very easy to use, a lot of fun to use. I think that Monero is much more of a working, usable cryptocurrency than Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the granddaddy, but most people don't really spend their Bitcoin. You can, but most people are just hanging on to it because it's worth more as an investment than its utility as a currency, right? That's one of its drawbacks in a way. Whereas Monero is kind of a balance, right? It's an investment. The price of Monero could go up, but it's also a pretty stable coin as far as the price action goes for Monero. During bull runs, it tends to go up too, but in general, it's fairly a lot less volatile than Bitcoin and is accepted in many places. And because of its functionality, because of its privacy, it seems to be, a preferred spending coin for a lot of people. So it's pretty interesting. I got through all that. I can't believe it. So we did 3 conversions, right? We bought some Coinbase BTC. We dropped it in our base wallet, right? There it is. If we go to our base, that's our, we bought $100 worth of wrapped Bitcoin. We got some Beam on the Beam network. So we bought about $60 or $100 worth of Beam on the Beam network. We had to buy it. We had to swap for it on the Ethereum network and then bridge it over to Beam. I'm wondering if there's an easier way to do that. Maybe you can buy, I looked at it over here. Maybe I can just buy it directly on Kraken next time. But yeah. And then we bought some Monero on Kraken and dropped it in our Monero wallet. So, and that's good. And this Monero, all 3 of those transactions that I did were on wallets that are being managed by my stacks. So I love using my stacks with third-party wallets. So I can use my stacks with the Monero wallet. I can use my stacks with, not that one. With the Rabby wallet. I can use my stacks with MetaMask if I need to. All of these wallets are tied to my Stacks device. My Stacks is managing the private key on all these wallets. Let's see, Christopher. I sent XRP from Coinbase to my Trezor wallet today, and XRP sent out from Coinbase at 59 cents. And when it went to Trezor, it was at 57 cents. Is this normal? There's always going to be some fluctuation in the prices. Not to mention that there is no set price for any crypto anywhere in the world like there is for a stock like Apple. You know, there is an agreed upon centralized price for Apple stock, but that doesn't, it's not the same with cryptocurrencies. So the pricing information that Trezor is getting through its Trezor suite might be querying different places to get their current price of XRP. So the price of XRP might have fluctuated when you did your transfer, and then, or it stayed exactly the same, but when you were looking at it on Coinbase, it was using Coinbase's price APIs to get the current price of XRP. When you put it over in your Trezor wallet, you were looking at the Trezor price APIs, and they may be querying different places to get their current tradable US dollar value of XRP, right? I assure you that you're always going to get the market price of XRP no matter what. I wouldn't sweat, a couple cents difference. I mean, I know it's frustrating, but it's just a pricing issue. What you really should pay attention to is the amount of XRP. As long as the amount is the same, then, the pricing APIs are just the, ups and downs of the markets. Not a big deal, because Trezor is showing you a slightly different price in US dollars for XRP than Coinbase is. Not a big deal. And yes, it's normal. Could be arbitrage too. There's all kinds of stuff, right? Okay, everybody. I'm gonna go feed the cat. I want to thank everyone for being here. I didn't mute the mic. Didn't have any major technical issues, except I had to run upstairs to get my wallet. Let's see here. Yeah, let's get this over here. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Thank you, Kenny, for being early and for the news. I appreciate it. Dan, thank you so much for all of your help. Your moderating is always appreciated. Thank you, everyone that asked questions tonight. Thank you, Scott, for being here. Thank you, Dustin and Shadow, for gifting a membership. You're an awesome guy. That's very nice of you. Thank you, everyone that just jumped in and watched. I see 3 Blink joining from Philly. I forgot to greet you. Hopefully you're here and you saw me greet you, heard me greet you. I appreciate it. Paul Wizzle, I didn't see you earlier. Chaos Reigns, a lot of people I forgot to greet. But thank you again for being here. I hope you enjoyed everything. If you have any questions, throw them up in the comments. I'll do my best to get them answered. Check out my channel. I dropped a video this week on the Monero wallet, full setup. I've got some other I got some other videos in the pipeline that will be coming out soon. We will be here again Saturday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join me again for the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you again soon. Good night, everybody.